Hi guys. It's been a hot minute since I've been on here. Last time I was on, I shared about Mimi's medical conditions and what happened with my little girl. I hope that everybody had a great Christmas this year. I had a good one. New Year's is going to be pretty quiet as well for me. I hope everybody has a great New Year's. In case I forget to say it, I got a couple of pieces of mail today, and I wanted to share them with all of you. As you guys know, Canada Post has been on strike for about a month, and they stopped the strike about a week ago. So I opened up this one letter and I just bawled my brains out reading it. And I'll read it to you guys. From Ontario Veterinarian College, OVC Pet Trust. Dear Sandy, we were truly sorry to learn of the passing of your beloved cat, Mimi. In memory of your loving relationship with Mimi, Peterborough West Animal Hospital made a monetary donation to OVC Pet Trust at the Ontario Veterinarian College, University of Guelph. OVC Pet Trust honors the relationship between pets, their people, and veterinarian caregivers. This kind gift will support innovative discoveries, learning, and healthcare, and lead to advances in veterinarian medicine to improve the health and well-being of our companion animals. We hope you will agree this is a meaningful tribute to your special friend. You can find out more about OVC Pet Trust at www.pettrust.ca. As veterinarians and animal lovers, we understand how painful losing a pet can be. We hope you find comfort knowing this gift in memory of Mimi will help us move veterinarian medicine forward. Our thoughts are with you at this difficult time. Sincerely, Dr. Jeff Witschel, Dean of Ontario Veterinary College. I was really surprised hearing about this and reading it. And I am so overwhelmed by the kindness that my veterinarian hospital, my vet, was to donate money on behalf of Mimi. This is heartfelt and touching, and I cried. There's vets out there that you can take your animals to, but you really want to find the vets that really get you and get your animal. You want ones that are compassionate, that check up on you to make sure that everything is going okay. They send emails or they call and leave messages. They check up a couple of days after you've had a visit to make sure everything is going okay with your pet, your fur baby. Words can't express what this means to me. And I am so thankful for the great care that Mimi received at the time that she was on this earth. I also received a lovely card in the mail from my veterinarian hospital as well. It's gonna be probably backwards for you guys. And inside says, though there are no words to help ease the sense of loss you are feeling, we wanted you to know we share in your sadness. We want to extend our deepest sympathy to you. And it was signed by all the girls of the Peterborough West Animal Hospital, all the vet techs and doctors. And inside was a lovely poem as well. They will not go quietly. The pets who've shared our lives. In subdued ways, they let us know their spirit still survives. Old habits still can make us think. We hear them at the door or step back when we drop. A tasty morsel on the floor. Our feet still go around the place the food dish used to be. And sometimes coming home at night, we miss them terribly. And all through time may bring us new friends and a new food dish to fill. That one place in our hearts belongs to them and always will. Isn't that just beautiful? Like I said, you can take your babies to a vet and get the care that you need. And it seems like it's like 1 in a million that you have the vets that are really dedicated, really care. Their team is excellent, and they're rooting for you and your baby. So with that, I have to share some news. It's not going to be easy for me. It's been quite hard. Soon after Mimi died, Rusty started getting his IBS. And usually his IBS comes and goes. It can last anywhere to 3 to 4 days. And his IBS arrived shortly after Mimi died. And it was dragging on and on and on. So, upon cleaning up his messes in the box and the occasional mess around the house, it was time to take him in. There was blood in his stool, and there was bloody mucus. And that was not normal, because none of that ever happens when he has IBS. So I took Rusty in. We had a virtual appointment. So the vet tech checked him all out and did the physical examination, and the doctor was on the computer, and she was getting all the information given to her as we were going along. She wanted to do some blood work, and I said fine. So they did blood work, and she called me the next day and said that she has a feeling that something else is really going on. His blood work seemed off to her, and she wanted to send it off to a pathologist for further testing and looking at. And I said, fine, okay, sure. So we waited the weekend, and I got a phone call at 7 o'clock on Monday night. And it was the doctor that we saw for the virtual appointment. And unfortunately, Rusty has chronic lymphoma cancer. He may have had it for about a year, and now it's presented itself. I asked how long. She said about a year maybe. I said, how long do I have with him? And the doctor said it could be 3 months, it could be 3 weeks. It all depends on how he's doing. I said, okay. And she suggested that we go on a steroid to help his bowels, because right now it's wreaking havoc in his bowels. So the steroid will calm down the inflammation, hopefully, that's going on with his cancer. And keep him comfortable. We went home with anti-diarrhea medication. I believe there was 2 different kinds of medication for that. We had a appetite stimulator. We have had something for his bowels. This squeeze tube stuff that I had to put in his food. We went through that for about a week, just over a week of all these medicines and things. And he seemed to be getting along. It was okay. And I went home also with special food. There was special wet food that we got for his intestines. And he was okay with the wet, but he decided that he was tired of it after 3 days. So I had no choice but to give him his other stuff and then switch him back to the expensive stuff. And I put the Chibble, the Biome, the Hills Biome, in his regular Chibble to integrate him. But I found that he was just not interested in it at all. So with that, the Hills Biome was very talked about, and that he really needs to be on it to help balance out his intestines and to help bulk up his stool. So I have no choice but to hand feed him 3 times daily. Yes, I'm back to hand feeding. And I was dreading it because he has teeth. He has a full mouth of teeth. He might be missing some baby teeth or in the front, but Rusty has a full mouth of teeth. And I was just procrastinating and not wanting to do it, but knowing that the diarrhea was so bad, it was watery. That's how bad it had gotten. And he needed this food badly. So with that, it was a hit and miss on how to get him to eat for me. It was a new learning experience for him, and it was a semi-new learning experience for me. I wanted to sit there and cry because that was the last thing I wanted to do, was to hand feed another baby their food, even though he can eat on his own, not a problem, but he really needs this food. So with that, got the Chibble, put it in the big cup, allowed it to soak with boiling hot water, covered it, and then I hand blended it right down to a puree, a nice puree paste with nice and smooth. So I would make a whole day's worth, day and a half worth of Chibble. And I was stuck. I didn't have any latex gloves or anything like that. The only thing I had was, yep, the big old yellow glove. So you can probably tell that I'm really impressed with the yellow glove, but I was at a desperate situation where I didn't have money on me at the time, and so I just grabbed the yellow glove, grabbed Rusty, and brought him in the bathroom. Now, my next video is going to be showing you guys how I have managed to feed him without getting my fingers chomped off by him. But the main thing is that 2 main things. One, your cat has to have trust in you. If your cat has no trust in you, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. Because if your cat can't trust you, they're not going to let you in their mouth at all to feed them. Nor they're going to allow you to bring them into the bathroom where it's a closed-in area to feed them. 2, you have to have patience. A lot of patience. It's going to take some time. I've been doing this for over 2 weeks now, and we're finally getting our groove with everything. When we started, it was messy. He flicked his food everywhere like a dog. Food was everywhere. He didn't want to be fed. It was a power struggle. But he trusted me, and I had patience. You've got to have a lot of patience, and you can't get upset, and you can't yell, and you can't get angry, because they're going to pick up on that, and it's going to make things 20 times worse. They're not going to want to comply. This is a game. You want to play a game with them. So you feed them, praise them, and you give them a treat afterwards, and praise them again. Just like a dog. Cats are trainable. Believe me. It's doable. Don't get me wrong. I had a bit of a struggle. He did not want to open his mouth. His gums and teeth are not the greatest because of his diabetes. Put a lot of plaque on the teeth. I'm learning this now, that most cats that are diabetics have a lot of plaque in their mouth, and it accumulates faster than the average cat that doesn't have diabetes. And by the way, I found out just before I took him to the vet, our first vet appointment, is that the boy is not diabetic anymore. Cats are the only species that can actually revert back to a non-diabetic. So I was checking his blood sugars, and they were at the level of being a non-diabetic, normal blood sugars. I could not give him his insulin, and because it would have dropped him down dangerously, and I could have killed him. So if you do have a diabetic cat, you need to regularly check a couple times a week. I've got to keep on checking him because he's on a break right now, and he could possibly go back to being a diabetic because of the steroid that he is on right now. So I take him in the bathroom. He's not fond of the yellow glove. It's big, it's bulky. I'm trying to get in his mouth. It's like a power struggle. Don't give up. I said, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. You can do this. Mimi complied. Mimi had no teeth. The only difference is that he's got teeth. So you have to get him to the point where he's not going to bite you. He didn't really like the yellow glove, and stupid me, what did I do? I hand fed him without a glove on. My fingers got infected. Even though I washed my hands right after with soap and water and wrapped them up in Band-Aids with polysporin, my fingers got they were starting to get infected. So anybody knows that has a cat, if your cat bites you and breaks skin, you've got to get your butt into the doctor and get an antibiotic into you, because they have something in their saliva that will wreak havoc in your body and make you have an infection in it. It's nasty. I can tell you that. I've been bit a few times by foster cats and by Tabitha back in the day when it was a power struggle with her and she was fearful of me. So do not go into this without wearing gloves or protecting your fingers, okay? This is going to take a while. You've got to have patience and trust, and knowing that you are going to be able to get through this, okay? Now, eventually, I did get away from the yellow glove. I did buy vinyl gloves. They come 10 in a pack. I got them at Dollarama. They're available in Ontario, and they are better than the normal rubber glove. These guys are pretty damn durable, and you can wash them up, hang them to dry, and you can reuse them. And yeah, I can get about half a week out of this, maybe. The next thing I want to share is this tape. This has been a lifesaver. After my fingers healed up, I was like, well, how am I going to protect my fingers just in case he breaks through the gloves, the vinyl gloves? So I had this tape kicking around. It is a foam tape. It is sold at Dollar Tree, $1.75, $1.50, whatever it is, $1. It's very handy. What I do is before I feed him is I get my 3 fingers that I feed him, and I just wrap it around the fingertip for each one, all 3. And then I put the glove on, and then I feed him. Wash up the glove, hang it to dry, and then gently peel the tape back off. Because this is, you can reuse this stuff if you can peel it off really good. It goes a long way. And it's foamy. It's a really good barrier. You might want to double this and put like a double on your fingertip so that, you know, you got a really good cushioning. And they would really appreciate that anyways when it comes to putting stuff in their mouths. You want to cut your fingernails, the hand that you're going to use. Even though you're going to wear gloves, you don't want anything sharp hitting their gums because they're very sensitive, right? You're putting your hand in their mouth and you're doing it quick. So you don't want anything sharp. So I cut my fingernails down and went to town with the nail file. It's all good. Now, you want to take your time, but you want to be quick. Because in the beginning, they don't want any food in their mouth. They don't want you putting your hand in their mouth. But you want to be quick so that they're not turning around, they're not flicking their head, they're not saying no. Basically, you're kind of forcing them in the beginning, but it's a good force, and you're not hurting them. They need the sustenance. He needs the food. So what I do is I go to the bathroom with him. I have 2 stools. I have one in front of me, and I could put one behind him. And they do that with cows. They want to they want to check and vaccinate. They want to check them for pregnancy. They want to vaccinate them. They want to tag them. It's a cow squeeze, a cow pinch, so that the cow can't go anywhere. That's what you want to do with your cat. You want to make sure that they're not going anywhere, and you want to confine them on your right side or your left side, however way you want to do it with them. I'm left-handed, so I have him to the right, and he's up against the door. I have the stool in front of him, so he's not going anywhere unless he decides to jump. And that works efficiently. You don't want to box them in too bad, but you want to make sure that they have that feeling that mom or dad means business. So that's one thing. The tape, the gloves, the food. There was something else I wanted to share. Oh, there are these cloths that you can get at Dollar Tree. They come compacted, and they're a kid's face cloth. And there's like Blue's Clues, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Then they have them like in the center aisle or in a bin. And then once you wet them, they expand. Well, I have like 2 of those cloths, and they are amazing. They clean up really quick and dry really quick and do a great job. So you're going to need a couple of cloths. You're going to need the gloves, the tape. What else? There's something else. I forget. I don't want to forget. And eventually, once they get into the schedule, because I'm feeding him 3 times a day, he's getting used to the fact that he's being fed. And once they get into that rhythm and the constant, like at every time of the day, and feeding them and getting them used to it, they're going to stop wanting to chomp down. Rusty has stopped, basically. Sometimes when he's almost finished, he sometimes chomps a little bit too hard, and it's like, okay, he's nearing the end, he's almost full. And they will give you cues when they are done. They'll just go like, they'll turn their head, or they'll back up, or they'll just shake. Read those cues, because you don't want to overfill them, because if you overfill them, then they're going to want to puke. So use good judgment. And after you're done, clean them up, praise them. You did really good. Mommy's happy, good boy, good girl. And then you reward them with a treat. So every time that they are, after they've been fed, they get a goodie for being good and for complying. And then it becomes a game to them. I believe after the first week, Rusty actually jumped up on my lap. I wasn't paying attention to him. I had put his food in the bathroom for it to cool down. I warm it up because his teeth are sensitive. I use a mug warmer. I put the bowl on top of it. I put a plate on top to keep it warm. And then I bring it to the bathroom and I let it cool down for about 10, 15 minutes or less. It cools down quite quickly, and he likes it warm. So he actually jumped on my lap and screamed at me because he was hungry. And he saw me walking down the hallway with his food and putting it in the bathroom. I pick him up. He's purring. He's like, I'm being fed. I don't have to chew, really. I just gulp. And he's really bloody messy. That's another thing I wanted to mention. Don't dress like you're going to go outside and be around people. You want to put on crappy clothes. Old pajamas, an apron, it's going to be messy. So you don't want to be wearing your Sunday best to be feeding your cat. That's for sure. Because in the beginnings, they're like a dog. So you want to have 2 wet cloths beside you. You want to have the one for their face and one for the floor. And as soon as they're done, wipe up the face, wipe up the floor, the wall, whatever little mess you guys have made. And that's good. Do it quick, or else you're going to pay for it. You're going to have it all over you. So yes, wear yucky clothes. I mean, stuff that doesn't really matter. Bibs, I use baby bibs, plastic, reusable, Velcro around the neck. I get the bibs at Dollar Tree. You can get them at Dollarama, I believe, as well. And they're versatile. They catch the food, mostly running down. They're the right size of what we need them for. So yeah, you'll need a bib as well. And that's it about that. We're going day by day. And I want him to have the best life until the end of his life. And I want him comfortable, and I want him healthy as I can get him, and happy. And it's quality of life over quantity of time. I've had my cries. I went into shock when I found out that he had cancer. And if it doesn't rain, it pours in my house. Something goes wrong, there's something else going to follow. Unfortunately, my bills are insane right now. So my cats and my family come first. I will do anything within reason to make sure that my cats have a good, healthy, happy life as long as they're on this earth. And that's the way it should be if you have a pet. Now, I understand financially some people just can't do it. But for the most part, pet parents are pretty damn good people. They'll do anything to make sure that their pets and their babies feel better. I don't know how much more crying I can do, but at this time I don't want to, and I don't want that for my channel, but I thought that I would share this with you guys simply because I haven't been on for quite a while. And for many of you guys know, I've been putting a lot of shorts out, and I try to make things happier over the Christmas holiday with the Elf on the Shelf, the Elf from Hell. I hope you guys enjoyed those as much as I enjoyed making them. And it was, I had a good laugh at the ones that I put out. Yeah, so that's what's going on. That's the update from my house and what's going on with Rusty. Tabitha is perfectly healthy and fine right now. I'm not worried about her. She's doing great. She knows there's something going on with Rusty. And so some days she'll walk up to him and just start bathing him, giving him kisses. She wants to be around him. And some days that he'll lay there and let her groom him. And other days he's a dope and he just walks away. She's madly in love with him. She's been in love with him since day one. So have no fear. Tabitha is good and healthy. She's chunky as always. Rusty, yes, he's got chronic lymphoma. And we keep on trekking on and trekking on. We're making the best of every day that comes forward. And we're having more good days than bad, which is amazing. We had a couple of setbacks. So he's had to go back on 2 steroid pills a day instead of 1. So in 6 days, 5 or 6 days, I have to drop him down to 1 pill again and see how he fares after that. And if he does terrible, then we go back up to 2 pills a day. He did really good on 2 pills a day. The diarrhea stopped. He was having firm poo. There was no accidents going on around the house. And then when we went down to 1 pill, day 5 was a couple of days ago. It was terrible. It was almost like we were back to square one again. So I emailed the vets, and they told me to put him back on the 2nd pill every day. So I'm like, okay. Thank you very much for getting back to me. These are the kind of vets that you really want in your corner. The ones that care, the ones that answer your call, answer your email, regardless. The ones that stand up for you, stand in your corner with you, that work with you, not work what's going into their pocket at the time. And I'm so happy. I am so literally happy to have my vets. They are amazing people. The vet techs, reception, you name it, amazing people. I couldn't ask for anything better. And I know that my guys are always going to have the best care possible going there. And I hope you guys can find a really good vet. Shop around. You don't have to settle for the same vet. If you're not happy, then start looking and start asking questions. Start asking your friends, well, who do you use and how do they react? And, you know, because you want to be able to have somebody that's there for your pet and that's compassionate and caring. Next video I put out, it's going to be showing you guys how I feed Rusty. He doesn't chomp down anymore. Very rarely does he chomp down on my fingers, but I still use my latex glove and foam tape because I don't want to get bit again, and I don't want to go any further on antibiotics if I can help it. If you guys want to help sponsor my channel, my PayPal is in my description for my page. I have it listed there. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Like this video. Share it. You guys are amazing. I'm up to 108 subscribers now. And I've been here for almost a year talking to you guys. And I really, really appreciate it. I am so blessed right now. So blessed. So I'll let you guys go for now. We'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to give me a comment. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks. Blessings. Bye.